それもやっぱりそのボクシングっていうものが好きだから、なんかそのボクシングっていう、ステに行った時はもうそういうモード入っちゃうんじゃないですかね。
やっぱり、ボクシングが好きだから、もうそれが一番ですね。はい。このボクシングが盛り上げる、さらに発展していくための、大事な試合ではあるし、発展していくボクシングをやっぱりこれ以上人気をって考えたら絶対に負けちゃいけない。
Inside camp, Naoya Inoue is pushing into darker territory, sharpening every edge beside legend Manny Pacquiao as a dangerous collision with Junto Nakatani looms closer. Each session fuses raw speed, brutal force, and veteran cunning, turning preparation into something volatile, feeding tension around an already explosive showdown with Junto Nakatani.
Look, 6, 8, 9, left up. Okay.
Known worldwide as the Beast, Inoue has already forged his status among pound-for-pound kings, tearing through multiple divisions with a chilling mix of accuracy, blistering speed, and devastating finishing force.
やっぱり今あるこの立場であったり、もちろん家族であったり、そういった、いろんなものが要因となって僕を今支えてると思うんですけど、その中で、今32歳になってなんか見えてくるものっていうのはやっぱり引退、いつかはやっぱり引退っていうものがもう見えてくる時期にはなってるので、じゃあその先に何をするかって考えた時に、やっぱり大橋会長のやっぱ後を継ぎたい。それが一番の恩返し
Yet
かな。
even with that reign intact, a collision with Junto Nakatani brings an unfamiliar threat, one that demands more than sheer force, requiring not only physical sharpness but calculated, razor-edge strategy.
Now.
Swing that body, swing that body, swing it, swing them hard, swing them punches in, swing them as hard as you can.
Okay.
These guys, after 12 rounds of fighting, they're not touching.
How would you describe your energy in this camp right now?
もう自分自身と向き合っていいトレーニングが積めてますし、ボクシング自体すごく成長できてるなっていう思いが強く溢れ。
That's where the presence of Manny Pacquiao begins to feel decisive. The eerie overlap in style with Naoya Inoue has ignited debate, as absorbing Pacquiao's method signals a deliberate push to sharpen what already cuts deep, amplifying timing and adaptability without erasing his foundation. In a recent exchange with Max Kellerman, Pacquiao spoke with a knowing edge about Naoya Inoue, admitting the flashes take him back to his own rise, pointing to the burst of speed, shifting angles, and relentless sequences as haunting parallels. He went further, suggesting Inoue may stand as the nearest echo of Pacquiao in today's fight scene, a statement that only thickens the tension.
Okay, everyone's looking for the next so-and-so, right? The next Manny Pacquiao. And the guy who's come closest to me is Inoue, the monster.
Inoue.
And you just asked me about Inoue. Are you a big fan of Inoue's?
Yeah, I like him. I like the way he fights.
Is he the closest thing to you? I'm not saying he's as great as you, but is he the closest thing to Pacquiao that we have in the game right now?
Oh yeah, I can say closest to me because when he started, I went to Japan.
Manny Pacquiao has made it clear in interviews that his focus with Naoya Inoue goes deeper than surface drills, stressing that footwork is the hidden weapon, the silent key, insisting that razor-sharp movement and shifting angles are crucial for carving openings, dictating range, and unleashing speed at the exact moment it becomes lethal.
What the proper punches and his techniques like that.
Well, he learned it well.
Yes.
Because he's been giving them the proper punching techniques.
Well, I told him
those
that
four divisions.
the most important in boxing is footwork. When you have footwork, then you can do a lot of things.
Right. Is that what Freddie gave you when you got to wild card? Did that take your game to the next level, the footwork?
The footwork is the best, you know, weapon.
Because before Freddie, you were in and out. And then with Freddie, you started giving him more angles,
side
right?
By side, yeah. Side by side. Head
And then
movement, head movement.
it was bad enough when it was just in and out with Manny. Once he started giving him angles, whew, it was a problem. Manny, you spent 3.5 years away from professional boxing before returning in July.
Inoue's father and trainer, Shingo Inoue, has pointed to his son's transformation with quiet certainty, saying the evolution has been dramatic and that he now stands ready for whatever comes, stressing that his experience, discipline, and relentless progression have pushed him beyond his previous limits into something far more dangerous.
いや、もうスイッチは入ってますよ。はい。で、結構本人の切り替えもうまいんですよ。やっぱりこう抜くとか抜いたりとか、まあ疲れが溜まってるなっていう時はやっぱ自分に言ってきて、今日ちょっと抜いていいとか、やっぱ自分ですごいコントロールしてバランス取ってます。はい。ただ練習モードに入るともうガチッと入るんで、そこはもうしっかりもうスイッチが入ってます。もうそうですね。はい。もうこの27。でもそれをしっかりやることによって必ずつながると思うんですよ。ただ気持ちはもうこの27日、この目の前の試合だけですね。
最高の試合を見せてやろうという気持ちではいますね。
On media day before his collision with Junto Nakatani, Naoya Inoue revealed a chilling glimpse of his form, tearing through pad work with blistering speed, razor-clean combinations, and surgical accuracy, delivering a loud warning that he's locked in at his absolute peak and primed for a high-stakes showdown that could erupt at any second. Junto Nakatani steps into the fight unbeaten too, a 3-division world champion who has just climbed to super bantamweight and seized his chance at undisputed supremacy, bringing a looming contrast in styles as Inoue erupts in sudden, violent surges and measured aggression, while Nakatani operates with cold composure, long-range offense, and a suffocating grip over distance. Junto Nakatani has been grinding through an intense training phase, locking into elite sparring sessions with sharp, world-class partners designed to recreate fight night pressure at its peak, while his camp hammers in timing, resilience, and constant tactical shifts, forcing him to adapt on the fly against different styles as he sharpens every edge ahead of the massive clash with Naoya Inoue. Trainer Rudy Hernandez has spoken highly of Junto Nakatani in interviews, calling him the most exceptional student he has ever guided in boxing, stressing that Nakatani's discipline, razor focus, and almost frightening ability to absorb lessons at speed set him apart, with his relentless commitment in training marking him as something rare and genuinely special in the sport.
Junto's one of the best boxing students that I've ever met. You know, from the day one, he came to the gym with an open mind, and he's never questioned anything that we've ever done. He executes.
左手。ジュントの他の選手と違うところは引き出しの多さなんじゃないかなっていう。ジュント的にはあまり対戦相手に対しての対策っていうものを少しはありますけど、本人の能力を高めていくっていうトレーニングに重きを置いているっていうのは感じてます。
Junto Nakatani's offensive system is often described like a bow and arrow setup, where he first quietly takes control of distance with his lead hand acting as a measuring device before snapping into range and unleashing sudden straight shots or sharp-angled backhand counters, drawing opponents in just to punish them at the exact moment they commit. His style is built on precision, timing, and patience rather than non-stop volume, while he layers in punishing body attacks whenever guards rise too high, and with subtle slips plus constantly shifting punching angles, he builds unpredictable sequences that keep opponents guessing, reacting late, and struggling to counter effectively.
Knockout that Nakatani did against Maloney. Yeah, man, something like that can happen. You know, I noticed that even though like Nakatani, he has a type of style where, you know, he's like, I don't know, it's like he's born like a bow and arrow. You know what I mean? Like you give a person a bow and arrow, and he pull that thing back and let released, and then, you know, then take off and run and try to hide behind something, you know, and pull that bow and arrow back and release. That's the style that, like, for me, Nakatani has. You know, he has that fencing type of style up front where he uses that lead hand to control distance and range, and to you know, win that lead hand battle, to be able to set up that bow and arrow backhand that he got, where he can throw it straight, he can throw it underneath.
Tim Bradley points out a recurring defensive flaw in Naoya Inoue's approach, noting that when he steps into range he sometimes crosses his feet on entry instead of using a clean, structured step-by-step advance, a detail that can momentarily disrupt balance and pull his head into a more exposed line than intended. This has shown up before in exchanges, including moments in the Cardenas fight where angled counters landed cleanly, raising concern that an opponent like Junto Nakatani could dissect and exploit it, since Nakatani builds his offense around timing traps and angle creation, especially counter shots launched from slightly offline positions, meaning if Inoue enters sloppily or repeats that crossing habit, Nakatani may be ready to fire sharp counter hooks or long backhand shots at the exact moment he is mid-step, when weight transfer is unstable and defensive reactions are at their weakest.
Nakatani was a guy that's gonna beat anyway, and he has a damn good chance of beating him, man. It's gonna be, he's gotta be, you're gonna have to catch Inoue offline. He has that offline shot that Inoue gets hit with quite often. Cardenas was able to hit him with an offline shot. Neri was able to hit him and hurt him with an offline shot, man. And yeah, Nakatani, he has those offline shots, especially with that backhand. And he can walk him into it. You know, Inoue still has a bad habit of crossing his feet. He'll cross that lead foot. That's what happened when he fought against Cardenas. He crossed the front foot first. He stepped with the front foot to close the distance instead of the back foot to go right. And he brought his head closer to his opponent. That's the reason why Cardenas was able to, you know, go left and then swing back right with the left hook. and catches as he's trying to reposition.
Carl Froch has described Naoya Inoue as one of the most complete fighters in modern boxing, highlighting the monster's historic rise through 4 weight divisions and his rare achievement of undisputed status in 2 separate classes, a level of accomplishment almost unseen in the sport. Froch noted that Inoue's blend of technical precision and explosive knockout power makes him look nearly untouchable at his best. And by dismantling opponents across multiple tiers with clinical efficiency, Inoue has firmly established himself as a generational force, with Froch's assessment reflecting a wider belief that Inoue is not merely a champion but a fully realized tactical weapon whose legacy deepens with every dominant surgical performance inside the ring.
Monster is a 4-weight world champion. He's actually a 2-weight undisputed world champion, and is he unbeatable? Well, he looks unbeatable, and the fight ended at the start of round 7. Listen, Inoue, he's sharp, he's compact, he's got a nice tight defence, he blocks shots with his gloves, but he also got quick reflex slips, he slips back, he's on his toes. He's on his toes a lot when he's in range, but he walks in kind of flat-footed. He puts pressure on with his feet, walks in with that tight defence, and he looks solid. But I think with his speed and his counterpunch, his accuracy, and the fact that he's punching hard body and head and looking to counter most shots that come at him, he's just such a good fighter. I mean, he doesn't really put a foot wrong. He gets clipped with the odd shot. I've seen him on the floor once before. He climbed up to win in emphatic.
At the most recent sparring media session, observers noted that Junto Nakatani has visibly built up his lower body, a clear sign of heavy investment in leg strength and stability work, suggesting a shift towards sitting down on punches and actively hunting fight-ending shots rather than relying purely on outboxing opponents. Yet even with the added muscle and weight, reporters were struck by his speed, which still flashed with unsettling sharpness in live camp action, with veteran journalist Lance Pugmire saying he was genuinely blown away by Nakatani's quickness, an assessment carrying weight given his long exposure to elite-level fighters, making this blend of increased power and preserved speed appear as a dangerous evolution in Nakatani's overall style.
On Nakatani, and there was a couple of reporters were at his most recent sparring session or his last sparring media session, and they noticed that his legs are much bigger. Like he's put a lot of time and effort into lower half strength, which means that he's going to want to sit down on his shots. He's going to want to end this, which I found pretty interesting as well. I mean, all fighters want to end fights, but it's just one thing that the Japanese media took from the media workouts.
That's interesting. Lance Pugmire from Boxing Scene, he went to watch Nakatani train with Rudy Hernandez, and he was amazed at his speed. He was really blown away. And Lance has been in this sport for a long time. He's been to a lot of camps. He's seen a lot of guys live. But like for him to say that a fighter's speed stuck out is meaningful to me. And so he's still got the speed, even though he's putting on weight in the lower half. It's a good sign. That's a good sign if you're Team Nakatani.
Yeah, because I once again, you're only as good as your last.
Many analysts are leaning toward Naoya Inoue edging a tight decision, either unanimous or majority, rather than securing an early stoppage, with the prevailing expectation pointing to a fiercely competitive tactical battle defined by shifting momentum, high-level adjustments, and the real possibility of at least one knockdown on either side, given the shared blend of power, timing, and precision both fighters bring into the ring.
That's going to be neck and neck. I'm going off of Inoue because of the experience that he has and who he's done it with. You know, that Fulton destruction was a beautiful thing, and that was all boxing IQ. That was an IQ. That wasn't about speed. That wasn't about power. That was IQ, and he set everything up beautifully with the jab. So yeah, I'm gonna go Naoya Inoue on IQ.
However, Naoya Inoue is still viewed as the favorite due to his D-championship experience, his proven ability to adjust mid-fight, and his elite timing when reading opponents, with past bouts showing that even when he has been hurt or knocked down he can stay composed, recover quickly, and regain control. Even against Junto Nakatani, many believe Inoue's sharper ring IQ, superior distance management, and tested record in high-level unification fights will allow him to edge crucial rounds at key moments, especially in the later stages where experience often becomes the deciding factor.
Some exciting moments. I think someone hits the deck, maybe both, but I think Naoya Inoue closes this fight strong and wins by UD.
Wow, both guys hit the canvas, then we have an all-time thriller.
Yes.
In this type of fight, which is being billed as the biggest fight in Japanese history, both guys hit the canvas. I'm also going with Inoue by majority decision. Okay. So they're going to be one scorecard that has Nakatani. I think Nakatani is going to be up for this fight, but ultimately I haven't seen any fall off for Inoue to say that he's going to lose this fight. He's going to do that hybrid where he is cautious but also powerful. I think he's going to find that perfect mix. He's just been on this stage a lot more than Nakatani. Inoue by majority decision with a really good fight though. Really good fight. Inoue gets his hand raised
There isn't a real-world answer to that specific May 2nd outcome because it depends on an actual fight result that hasn't been established in the data we're using here.